Oh my God, what's this? Wow.
You're coming across statues underwater, you're coming across columns underwater. It's just magical, diving on an underwater city.
Hidden deep beneath Egypt's desert sands, scientists have made a jaw-dropping discovery. An object buried underground with no record of existence. This incredible find has left experts surprised, raising questions that could change everything we know about history and civilization. What hidden secrets still lie beneath the ancient dust? Join us as we unravel the mystery of this ancient piece that has been concealed underground with no trace of its existence before now. Secret beneath Zayat el-Arian. In May 1900, an Italian architect and Egyptologist named Alessandro Barsanti conducted research at the Layer Pyramid in Zayat el-Arian. He had already gained a strong reputation in his field, especially after discovering the tomb of Akhenaten. However, Barsanti found himself disappointed with the pyramid. It was incomplete, crumbling, and, unlike other sites, had no artifacts to uncover. Like many Egyptologists before him, Barsanti concluded that the pyramid was likely abandoned when the king who ordered its construction died. Feeling let down, he started his journey back to Giza. On his way back, Barsanti decided to take a different route, this time along a higher plateau that offered a breathtaking view of the surrounding landscape. As he walked, something caught his eye: scattered pieces of granite and fine granite dust. It was clear that someone had been cutting stones here. His curiosity sparked, and Barsanti suspected that this spot might have been where ancient workers prepared stone for a hidden tomb. Excited by his discovery, Barsanti hurried back to Giza and quickly gathered a team to investigate further. In just 2 days of digging, his suspicion was proven right. Beneath the sand, they found the entrance to a massive limestone pit. But what surprised them even more was what lay inside. The pit was filled with huge limestone blocks, each weighing several tons, thrown in as if someone wanted to bury something important underneath. It seemed clear to Barsanti. Someone had gone to great lengths to hide whatever lay beneath the stone blocks. On December 8, 1900, at a depth of 21 meters, the excavation team made an exciting discovery: a large block of pink granite. This type of granite was not only more valuable than limestone, but it was also more challenging to work with, making it suitable only for the most important buildings. This find convinced Barsanti that they had stumbled upon something remarkable. As they continued digging, they uncovered more pink granite blocks, suggesting the existence of a vast underground structure. By February 1905, Barsanti and his team unearthed a colossal 30-ton granite block that appeared to mark the bottom of a deep pit. Barsanti believed this was the entrance to an underground world that could be filled with tombs and treasures. Adding to the mystery, the team discovered inscriptions carved into the stones. Even after sending drawings of these inscriptions to Egyptologists in Giza and Cairo, no one could agree on their meaning or origin. This only strengthened Barsanti's belief that something extraordinary lay hidden below. To move the granite blocks, Barsanti used machinery, but they were tightly interlocked like pieces of a puzzle. As they dug deeper, Barsanti made his most astonishing discovery: an oval-shaped vat carved from pink granite, its surface polished to a mirror-like shine. This vat had been carefully sealed with layers of lime and clay. When the team removed the lid, they were surprised to find no treasure inside, only a thin, black residue clinging to the walls. Barsanti speculated that the vat once held a liquid offering that had evaporated over time. Despite the lack of treasure, he felt the vat was of great significance. Why had the builders taken such care to protect it? Determined to unravel the mystery, Barsanti continued his excavation and uncovered a massive cork-like granite block, sealing what he believed were hidden chambers below. As news of Barsanti's discovery spread, many of his colleagues remained doubtful, insisting that the pit was simply the foundation of an unfinished pyramid. Despite facing numerous challenges, Barsanti pressed on with his investigations, convinced that he was on the brink of a significant discovery. Two intriguing findings seemed to bolster his beliefs. First, his team unearthed a meticulously crafted staircase at the northern end of the pit, clearly too refined for mere laborers. This staircase appeared to lead to ceremonial chambers, hinting at a deeper significance. Then, a torrential rainstorm swept through the area, flooding the pit. Curiously, the water level dropped suddenly, as if it had vanished into a hidden chamber below. Even with mounting obstacles, such as the intricate interlocking granite blocks and decreasing funds, Barsanti persevered. However, by 1906, he faced a financial crisis that forced him to halt the excavation. For years, he sought new funding and finally secured support in 1911. Yet, despite this renewed hope, the work proved far too challenging, and once again, Barsanti had to abandon the project before uncovering the secrets hidden beneath the pit. He passed away in 1917, leaving the mystery unresolved. Barsanti's efforts sparked ongoing curiosity about the site known as Zawiat El Aryan, but after his death, it lay dormant for decades. In the 1950s, it briefly gained attention as a filming location for the movie The Land of the Pharaohs, only to fade into darkness once more. However, his notes eventually captured the interest of Italian scholars Vito Marajo and Celeste Rinaldi, who aimed to continue his work in the 1960s. Unfortunately, their efforts were abruptly halted in 1964 when the Egyptian government designated Zawiat El Aryan as a military base, restricting access. This sudden closure raised eyebrows and fueled suspicions. Why would the government block off this site, just as interest was reviving? Many Egyptologists today claim there is no mystery at Zawiat El Aryan, suggesting that the pit is merely the foundation of an unfinished pyramid. Yet, Barsanti, who had studied Egypt's ancient wonders for decades, insisted that this was no ordinary pyramid foundation. If the pit were simply a base, why go to such great lengths to construct a floor made of interlocking granite blocks, secured by strong mortar and designed to be nearly immovable? Moreover, why use valuable pink granite, transported from Aswan, nearly 600 miles away?
Here's this little girl saying, not only did I live there, but it looked completely different when I lived there thousands of years ago.
If the structure was meant to be buried under a pyramid made of limestone, which would have been much easier to source and work with, the questions linger, keeping the mystery of Zawiat El Aryan alive. The mystery surrounding the writings found by Barsanti at the site continues to confuse scholars today, who are still divided over their meanings. Adding to this intrigue is the carefully made oval vat found nearby. If this vat was part of a pyramid's base, why would the builders put so much effort into intricately carving it, polishing it to perfection, and sealing it with lime and clay? In recent years, an interesting new theory has come up that connects the mystery of Zawiat El Aryan to the Great Pyramid of Giza. For centuries, this famous structure has puzzled historians. The traditional belief is that it served as a tomb for Pharaoh Khufu, yet no human remains, treasures, or artifacts have ever been found inside, leading many to question this explanation. In the 1960s, Edward Kungel suggested a groundbreaking idea. The Great Pyramid was not a tomb, but a giant water pump designed to water the surrounding desert. He proposed that the pyramid's inner chambers and passages worked as part of a complex system to move water. Although many were skeptical of Kungel's idea, some engineers found it interesting. They noted that a ram pump, which uses gravity to move water, could work on the scale Kungel imagined. By the 1990s, marine engineer John Cadman expanded on Kungel's theory. He looked into the pyramid's underground chamber and found signs of water damage. Cadman made a scale model of this chamber and discovered that it could indeed work as a water pump. His experiments led to an unexpected finding. The pyramid produced strong compression waves, pulses that could create electricity. This discovery raised a provocative question. Could the ancient Egyptians have used the Great Pyramid to generate electrical power? Cadman's research suggested that it was possible. The pyramid's outer layer of insulating white limestone, its granite core, and its gold capstone all indicated a design capable of generating and harnessing electrical energy. With this new perspective, researchers began to reconsider the mystery of Zawiat El Aryan. Could the pit be part of an ancient electrical system linked to the Great Pyramid? Some believe that the oval vat may have been essential to this system, with its black residue hinting at a long-lost method of generating electricity. Perhaps this is why the Egyptian government sealed off Zayat el Aryan in the 1960s, adding to its mystery. Treasures of Heraklion. The lost city of Heraklion, which the ancient Egyptians called Thonis, is an underwater city located near the mouth of the Nile River, close to what is now Alexandria, Egypt. Its discovery in the early 2000s by underwater archaeologist Frank Gaudio and his team marked a significant milestone in the field of archaeology. For many centuries, Heraklion was thought to be just a myth, known only from a handful of rare inscriptions and ancient writings.
Lost cities capture our imagination, and they've done that for generations. One of the most celebrated was Heraklion.
Heraklion played a vital role as a gateway to Egypt, serving as one of the main ports for Greek trade before Alexandria was built. This bustling city was a hub of commerce, culture, and religion, attracting merchants and visitors from far and wide. It was also an important center for worship, particularly of Amun-Garb, the supreme god of the Egyptians at that time. One of the most notable religious events in Heraklion was the annual Mystery of Osiris ceremony, which celebrated the resurrection of the god Osiris. Artifacts and inscriptions found underwater indicate that this ceremony included a grand procession from the Temple of Amun-Garb in Heraklion to the Temple of Amun in Canopus. The remains of Heraklion lie about 6.5 kilometers off the coast, submerged under 30 to 45 feet of water.
They're the secrets of ancient Egypt, which for thousands of years lay submerged beneath the Mediterranean.
Excavations have uncovered a remarkable treasure collection of artifacts, statues, and architectural wonders that provide essential insights into ancient Egyptian civilization and its connections with the Greek world. Each discovery adds to our understanding of this once thriving city and the vibrant culture that flourished there. One of the most extraordinary discoveries was the unearthing of massive statues, some reaching over 5 meters tall. These statues, beautifully carved and remarkably well preserved in the silty seabed of the bay, depict a fascinating blend of Egyptian gods and goddesses, pharaohs, and Greek rulers. This variety shows the rich cultural mix that defines the city. In addition to the statues, gold coins and weights made from bronze and stone were found, revealing insights into the city's trade and economic activities. Among the most captivating finds were dozens of small limestone sarcophagi, believed to have contained mummified animals offered to the gods. These discoveries, along with the remnants of more than 64 ancient shipwrecks, tell a compelling story of a city deeply connected to the divine.
These majestic underwater discoveries are about to become a major box office draw,
where commerce and spirituality were intricately woven together. A fascinating comparison can be made between Heraklion and the ancient city of Pompeii in Italy. Both cities were lost due to natural disasters. Heraklion succumbed to rising waters and earthquakes, while Pompeii was buried under volcanic ash. For centuries, both remained forgotten. The rediscovery of each has provided invaluable glimpses into life in ancient times, revealing aspects of daily living, culture, and economies. While Pompeii offers a frozen snapshot of Roman life, Heraklion shares its secrets through the preservation of artifacts beneath the sea. The underwater setting uniquely protects organic materials and metals that would have deteriorated on land.
The size of those granaries means that they could hold way more food than is necessary for the number of people who would have lived at Buhen,
providing a fresh perspective on ancient history. The ongoing excavations in Heraklion challenge our understanding of ancient civilizations, showcasing the deep connections among them through trade, religion, and culture. The artifacts and structures found beneath the Mediterranean waters are a representation of the city's importance in the ancient world, painting a clear picture of its splendor and the lives of its inhabitants. Marvels of Cleopatra's Alexandria. Cleopatra's palace in Alexandria now lies hidden beneath the waters of the eastern harbor, just off the coast of the modern city. This underwater treasure holds incredible archaeological and historical value. Once, this palace was the heart of political power, cultural brilliance, and architectural splendor during the reign of Cleopatra VII, the last queen of ancient Egypt's Ptolemaic dynasty. When the palace was discovered submerged underwater, it fascinated historians, archaeologists, and people around the world. It offered them a rare window into the life of one of history's most mysterious and influential figures, as well as the vibrant era she lived in. As divers explored the depths, they unearthed countless artifacts, statues, coins, jewelry, and everyday objects that tell the story of life in Cleopatra's Alexandria.
I know you don't always find something as amazing as a lost city, but if you keep searching, you always find something no one else has seen before.
Some of these statues represent Egyptian gods, figures from the Ptolemaic dynasty, and perhaps even Cleopatra herself, though identifying her exact likeness is difficult. The underwater remains also show the layout of the palace, with what is believed to be its living quarters, ceremonial areas, and perhaps even the legendary Pharaoh's lighthouse. These remnants offer a peek into the architecture and city planning of ancient Alexandria. From delicate pottery and glassware to coins and personal ornaments, the artifacts paint a colorful picture of not only the palace's luxurious lifestyle, but also the broader economy and social life of the city at the time. The discovery of Cleopatra's palace, now resting on the ocean floor, brings to life the grandeur of a bygone era and the legacy of one of history's most iconic rulers. During Cleopatra's reign, Alexandria was a thriving, bustling city, famous for its trade, culture, and learning. It was like the crossroads of the ancient world, where ideas, goods, and people from various cultures mingled. One of the city's greatest treasures was the Great Library, a symbol of wisdom and knowledge that attracted scholars from all over. This was a time when Alexandria was at its peak, blending the rich traditions of Egypt with the influences of Greek and Roman cultures, making it a vibrant melting pot of civilizations. The discovery of Cleopatra's palace, now submerged underwater, shows Alexandria's importance as both a political and cultural center. You can even draw a fascinating comparison between Cleopatra's sunken palace and the lost Roman city of Baiae near Naples. Both places were once lavish and powerful, boasting magnificent villas, temples, and public baths frequented by the most influential people of their time. Sadly, both were swallowed by the sea, Baiae due to volcanic eruptions and Alexandria due to earthquakes and rising sea levels. While Baiae offers a glimpse into the luxurious lifestyles of Roman elites and their architectural innovations, Cleopatra's palace tells a different story. It gives us a rare window into the final days of the Egyptian pharaohs and the Ptolemaic dynasty's efforts to blend Egyptian and Hellenistic cultures. Alexandria's strategic position on Egypt's Mediterranean coast made it one of the most important trade hubs of the ancient world. Founded by Alexander the Great in 331 BC, it connected Europe, Asia, and Africa, creating a buzzing center where diverse cultures came together. The port of Alexandria wasn't just a place for trading goods like grain, papyrus, and precious metals, but also a vibrant center of ideas, where intellectual and cultural exchanges flourished. Its significance was unmatched, as it was essential for shipping grain to Rome, which helped stabilize the Roman Empire. One of the most famous landmarks of Alexandria was the Pharaoh's lighthouse, considered one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Towering over the harbor, it guided ships safely to the port and stood as a symbol of the city's prosperity and engineering brilliance. Another symbol of Alexandria's greatness was its renowned library, which, though not part of the port, embodied the intellectual energy that filled the city. Scientists, philosophers, and scholars from far and wide gathered here, contributing to Alexandria's legacy as a center of learning. Surrounding the port were luxurious royal palaces, including a grand shrine to the Muses that housed the Great Library. These impressive structures reflected Alexandria's wealth and its status as a beacon of Hellenistic culture. Underwater archaeology has since revealed many treasures from the port, including shipwrecks, pottery, and everyday items that tell the story of life in this ancient hub of trade. The port was essential to the ancient economy, bustling with merchants and goods from across the Mediterranean and beyond. It was a highly organized trade center, where commodities like grain, papyrus, glass, and metals passed through daily. The city's prosperity was closely tied to the efficiency of its port, which acted as a vital link between different parts of the world. When comparing Alexandria's port to the Roman port of Ostia, You can see that both were crucial to the economies of their respective empires. Ostia, located at the mouth of the river Tiber, was Rome's main sea gateway, much like Alexandria was for Egypt. Both ports were buzzing with economic and cultural activity, showcasing the cosmopolitan nature of life in the ancient Mediterranean. However, while Ostia's role was more focused on feeding Rome by importing grain, Alexandria had a broader global reach, connecting continents and facilitating a wider range of trade. The discovery of exotic goods and diverse ships in Alexandria's waters shows its significance as a global trading hub, making it stand out even more compared to Ostia, which mainly served the Roman state. The Manthis discovery. The underwater city of Manthis, located near Abu Qir Bay, close to Canopus in Alexandria, has become a key site in underwater archaeology. It offers a fascinating glimpse into the complex culture and religious practices of the Greco-Egyptian period. Discovered by Frank Gaudio and his team, this site helps us understand what life was like in Manthis before it was swallowed by the Mediterranean Sea. Frank Gaudio, a pioneer in the field of underwater archaeology, led his team using careful surveying methods and cutting-edge technology. They relied on advanced sonar and geomagnetic equipment to find hidden structures beneath the waves. This technology was essential for identifying unusual patterns that indicated the presence of submerged buildings, forming the core of their exploration. In the first stage of their investigation, the team conducted thorough surveys using side-scan sonar and magnetometers. These tools provided an initial view of Manthis, which was buried under layers of silt carried by the Nile as it flows from Uganda and Ethiopia. The surveys uncovered the shapes of hidden structures and were crucial for mapping potential excavation sites, enhancing their understanding of the underwater landscape and the thickness of sediment layers. To further their exploration, the team utilized sophisticated remote sensing technologies, including multi-beam echo sounders and sub-bottom profilers. These instruments allowed them to create detailed three-dimensional maps of the sea floor, which were vital for planning the excavation process effectively. The team encountered several tough challenges while working in the ever-changing underwater conditions near Abu Qir Bay. The heavy buildup of silt, common in the Nile Delta region, not only buried important artifacts and structures, but also made it difficult to see underwater. This lack of visibility complicated the processes of digging up and documenting these finds. Moreover, the shifting tides and currents could either reveal or bury artifacts between survey sessions. This meant the team had to constantly keep an eye on the conditions and act quickly whenever they had the chance. The salty water and the presence of silt created further problems for preserving the artifacts, requiring immediate conservation efforts to stop rust and biological growth on the items once they were brought to the surface. To tackle these issues, the team used divers who specialized in underwater archaeology. These divers skillfully operated hydraulic suction tubes to gently remove silt and uncover artifacts without damaging them. Proper documentation was another vital part of the excavation. High-resolution photography and videography were essential in capturing the details of the finds. In many cases, they even used 3D modeling techniques to record the exact state and position of structures and artifacts before disturbing them. Once the artifacts were recovered, they were placed in specially designed containers filled with a stabilizing solution to prevent decay caused by exposure to air. This careful handling ensured the preservation of these priceless historical items. The ongoing exploration of Manthis has led to fascinating archaeological discoveries that paint a vivid picture of the city's remarkable architecture, everyday life, and even the geological factors that contributed to its submersion. Interestingly, the sites became submerged mainly due to land sinking rather than rising sea levels. The recently unearthed structural remains in Manthis show significant buildings that were likely central to both daily life and community activities in the city. The buildings of Manthis were made from large blocks of limestone, showing advanced skills that were needed for cutting, shaping, and moving these huge stones. This knowledge indicates a strong understanding of building and stability from that time. Tools like levers, ramps, and even wooden rollers were likely used to place these blocks, reflecting methods seen in other Egyptian buildings from the same period. The variety of pottery found at the site offers interesting insights into daily life in Manthis. These items range from simple household things to beautifully made ceremonial pieces, mixing Egyptian and Greek styles and showing the cultural blend during the late period. The pottery served many purposes, including everyday storage and cooking, as well as being used in religious ceremonies or as luxury items. They provide a glimpse into the daily lives and special rituals of the city's residents. Ancient cultures worldwide kept memories of their great civilizations, and the statues discovered in Manthis reveal much about the city's cultural and religious practices. Made from strong materials like granite and marble, many of these statues stand over 2 meters tall and weigh more than 500 kilograms. They depict gods and important figures, suggesting that they helped reinforce a sense of divine presence and royal authority in public spaces and temples. As for why Manthis ended up underwater, one strong theory points to geological and climate changes. The city was built on the Nile Delta, which is geologically unstable and prone to sinking. Over time, as the land gradually sank, silt from the Nile built up beneath the structures. This sinking may have been worsened by the weight of the buildings and the soft soil of the delta. Changes in sea levels due to climate shifts or seismic activity could have contributed to the city being slowly submerged over centuries. Though Manthis was not as large as Alexandria, its layout was well planned to support its residents and their activities. It covered several square kilometers, featuring a network of streets, marketplaces, and residential areas. Located along the coast, it likely served as a small port or trading post, helping trade between the Nile region. This urban design not only supported its economic role, but also encouraged its cultural and social structure, making it a lively center of activity in ancient times. The city of Manthis has given us valuable insights into ancient Greco-Egyptian culture. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. In the heart of the Egyptian desert, a team of scientists discovered an object with no record of existence while digging near an ancient pyramid. They were searching for clues about the past when their tools hit something hard. Curious, they brushed away the sand and uncovered a shiny, strange object, unlike anything they had ever seen. It was a small golden disc, engraved with symbols that seemed to dance in the sunlight. The scientists exchanged excited glances. No records mentioned such an item. They carefully lifted it, wondering what secrets it held. Back at their camp, they studied the disc, trying to decode the mysterious symbols. Each symbol told a story of ancient kings, forgotten gods, and lost knowledge. The more they learned, the more they realized this object might change history. News of their discovery spread, drawing crowds of archaeologists and treasure hunters. Some believed it was a key to hidden treasures, while others thought it could unlock the mysteries of time itself. As they raced to uncover the truth, the team knew they had stumbled upon something extraordinary, a treasure of knowledge buried for centuries, waiting to be found. What do you think this golden disc could reveal about ancient Egypt? Let us know your opinion in the comments section. The mysteries of Canopus. The recent rediscovery of Canopus, near the modern village of Abu Qir and close to the ancient city of Thonis Heraklion, does the same. Over the years, the land surrounding Canopus faced serious challenges due to a mix of earthquakes, tsunamis, and rising sea levels. These natural disasters caused the soil in the eastern suburbs to become unstable, a process known as liquefaction. Meanwhile, the western suburbs transformed into what we now recognize as the Egyptian coastal city of Abu Qir. A British Royal Air Force commander flying over Abu Qir Bay noticed what he believed were ancient ruins beneath the water. Excited by this discovery, he shared his observations with the Egyptian scholar Prince Omar Toussoun. Intrigued, Prince Toussoun initiated archaeological investigations, teaming up with local fishermen. Together, they uncovered an archaeological site located 1.8 kilometers from the shore. The Institut Européen d'Archéologie Sous-Marine, led by the French underwater archaeologist Franck Gaudiot, has been actively surveying the waters of Abu Qir Bay. Their efforts eventually revealed that the submerged ruins belonged to the legendary lost city of Canopus after thorough excavations were conducted. Using advanced underwater archaeology methods, including sophisticated sonar technology and magnetometers, Gaudiot's team uncovered significant structures hidden beneath the seabed. Their initial surveys revealed the outlines of large temple complexes and other important buildings, showcasing the vast scale and significance of Canopus, which had been buried under layers of sediment and marine growth for centuries. Among the most remarkable discoveries at Canopus were expansive temple complexes and sanctuaries dedicated to Egyptian gods, particularly Osiris. The main temple structures were impressive, with some remnants indicating they were over 50 meters long and more than 20 meters wide. These grand spaces were designed to accommodate many pilgrims, emphasizing their role as major religious centers. The temples were constructed mainly from limestone and granite, using massive blocks that could weigh up to 10 tons each. These materials were chosen not only for their durability, but also for their beauty, essential for such culturally and religiously significant buildings. The intricate carvings and hieroglyphics on the temple walls served both decorative and narrative purposes, telling the stories and rituals associated with the deities worshipped inside. Excavations within the sanctuaries revealed a wide array of artifacts that vividly illustrate the religious practices and daily life of the time. Many statues, primarily made of granite and basalt, were found, varying in size with some standing several meters tall and weighing hundreds of kilograms. These statues often depicted gods and goddesses, serving as focal points for worship. Additionally, ritual objects such as ceremonial cups, incense burners, and offering tables were discovered, crafted from alabaster and bronze, indicating their sacred uses and the wealth of the temple complexes. Canopus was not only a vital site for the worship of Osiris, but also played a crucial role during the Mysteries of Osiris, an annual festival that attracted devotees from across the region. This shows the city's immense religious significance. The art and architecture of Canopus reflect a unique blend of Greek and Egyptian influences, typical of the Hellenistic period in Egypt, evident in the hybrid designs of the temples and the iconography of the statues. The submersion of Canopus is mainly due to geological processes, such as land sinking and rising sea levels over thousands of years. Built on the unstable sediments of the Nile Delta, the city was susceptible to shifting land masses and the slow encroachment of the Mediterranean Sea. These processes gradually led to its submersion, preserving its remnants beneath the waves for future generations to discover. What are your thoughts on the shocking discovery of an astonishing object by scientists buried underground in Egypt that has no records of existence? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section.